Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And we appreciate you folks coming on with us as usual. And let's see, our notifications are coming out. And there's Mike from Norland and Brahim 1 and 2. What did I expect? Andrea, Niagara Falls, right near the top. Francis Marie, good morning. And Kevin from Oshawa in that top group coming up. Rosalinda, we love you. Brahim, it's your birthday tomorrow. So Brahim, happy birthday ahead of time. Fran, Georgie, I think that was Millicut. Nelly, goes up into those clouds, guys. I can't see it. Nativity, good morning. Deb from Motown. Maryland, Kelowna, and Judy, Manitoba, Sandy, Chilliwack, British Columbia, BC, well represented. Janie, how are you? Mary, Norwich, and Tina, Wheatley, Carol, West Virginia, Nick from our staff, good morning. Janice, Brampton, Carol, good morning. Thanks for coming on. Ma Booba, how are you? Frida, Wendy from Wasaga, and Helga, how are you? Donna, Newfoundland, Carrie, Nebraska, and Karen Kincardine. Sherry, oh, I want to sing. Mississauga, Wendy from Markham, Jean, Maria, Ottawa, good morning. Linda from Bolton. Nancy, Gore's Landing. And Kevin says Andrea's first on his list. Garrett, Peterborough. And Tracy from Kansas. Judy, New Brunswick. And you're from Bangladesh. Nice to have you on. Francis, Rosa, Montreal, bonjour, Mariette, how are you? From Verner. That's Lori and Ryan, Sarasota, Florida. Rose, Peterborough. Melika from Stouffville, I think I've said that. Dora, Manitoba. Gail, First Nation, Saskatchewan. How are you, Gail? Bev, David, Ridgeway. Rita, good morning to you. And Gary from Bolton. Barbara. Okay. And Donna. Here we go. Folks are getting their, Cecilia. Okay. No notification. You know what? I don't know, guys, what to do with that. Okay. So if that ever happens, whatever you did, go to our Martin Clinic Facebook, not the group, although our staff, I think, puts it on in the group. But if you go to Martin Facebook, Martin Clinic Facebook, it's there, okay? I don't know why, folks, people don't get they don't get the notifications. You're asking the wrong guy, and I'm not sure. That's Facebook. Okay, guys, let's get to our questions. And yeah, it's a Facebook problem, Janice. You're right. It is. I don't know what to do about that, okay? Other than to tell you we love you. I don't know what to do. I really don't, okay? Not my area of expertise. Go to Martin Clinic at 8:30. Wait till it comes up. Yeah, you can always go to Martin Clinic. I don't know about on, is that... and Cecilia's saying no. Janice saying it's AI that's doing that. Mara. Okay, let's get to the questions, guys. And we'll have some more folks join us, I'm sure. June is asking if it's all right to have 4 Ultra Digests all before meals. Well, look, it's not overkill. That's the question. Look, I had people with severe problems, digestive problems. Their stomach acid wasn't right. For years, digestive issues. And they needed to take 4 Ultra Digest, whatever, before a meal. You're not overdue. You got to figure it out. I mean, ordinarily 1 per meal, or 1 or 2 even per day does the trick. But you got to figure that out, June. But you're not overkilling. I mean, it's not what's going to happen if you take too many enzymes. Enzymes are good for you. And somebody was asking about this too. Lisa, let me answer your question at the same time. What about pancreatic insufficiency? Well, you see, pancreatic enzymes are extremely important for digestion, because that's where you get lipase, amylase, protease. Those are all pancreatic enzymes. If you have an insufficiency and you are not secreting enough of those enzymes, that major issue. You got to fix that. You have to supplement. You have to take pancreatic enzymes. That's what our formula is all about. Okay? And we add in that Ultra Digest, okay, for reasons like SIFO or SIBO. What we add is oil of oregano. Because I love oil of oregano. And oil of oregano is good to keep H. pylori at bay. It helps to kill yeast in your small intestine, fungus overgrowth, even the bacterial overgrowth, nature's natural antibiotic. So we put, I think, 13 or 14 different blends of enzymes between amylase, lipase, and especially protease, because those are the things that will break down your food. And as we get older, or if you don't have enough stomach acidity, it's use it or lose it. And a lot of people have lost their stomach acidity because they weren't eating enough red meat. They weren't eating enough steak. And those are important things. Deborah, what are your thoughts on soaking your feet in a solution for detoxing the body? Look, you can put your feet in any kind of solution you want, but you're not detoxing your body if you don't empty your liver, and your liver. Your liver is the most important detox organ that you have. Now, your kidneys are important for detox, and so are your lungs. But there's nothing like your kidneys. Your liver. Your liver is the key to detoxification, because your liver produces glutathione. And glutathione is coats your cells. It's like Velcro. And all those toxins that we're surrounded with, microplastics, heavy metal like mercury, lead, cadmium, yeast, and fungus. Your body has an amazing ability to detoxify itself, but only if your liver is clean. If you have a fatty liver, you're not detoxing properly. That fat in your liver is a magnet for toxins. And now you're not going to produce near enough glutathione. Your body will not detox properly. I don't care what you put your feet in. I know that one time they were selling a machine, or you could go and get, put your feet in a bath, and they'd have a solution or whatever. I never bought it bought it in terms of agreeing with it, because I know how the body operates. I'm not saying that you can't, soak your feet if you want. But you're not emptying your liver by soaking your feet. Okay, I'm sorry. It just doesn't happen. So you can't avoid that. And remember what packs up your liver: sugar, fructose. It packs up your liver. And so that's why I love the reset. Why? Because that empties your liver. Empty it. And then your liver will detox your body like nobody's business. Okay? So I look at it differently, perhaps, but that's how your body operates. Okay? That's how your body operates. Now, okay. Jackie, what causes nosebleeds and what to do for high blood pressure? Well, high blood pressure can cause a nosebleed. Dryness of the sinuses can cause nosebleeds. Even people that have a chronic fungal infection in their yeast infection in their sinuses can sometimes get nosebleeds. So you want to don't feed the bears, don't feed them sugar. For high blood pressure, it comes back down to high blood pressure, guys. The big thing you got to focus in, okay, how I talked about detoxing and the liver, high blood pressure, kidneys. And they always blame salt for what sugar did. Okay? They always blame salt for what sugar did. Cut your salt out of your diet, that'll help your blood. Nah, that don't help your blood pressure, hardly at all. Because it's not salt, it's sugar. Sugar affects the kidneys. Sugar affects circulation to the kidneys. Sugar makes you hold on to sodium. And that'll affect, it'll cause a vasoconstriction, and you're going to have possibly high blood pressure from that. Mostly at the kidney level. So keep your kidneys. Niagara Falls. Lay off the sugar and drink water. Remember, the other thing about blood, we talked about it yesterday, is viscosity, the thickness of blood. Keep the river flowing. How many millions of people are walking around because they don't have a light on their head telling them that they're dehydrated? That has an effect on blood pressure. The other thing is nitric oxide. Nitric oxide opens your blood vessels. This is why I had, when I was in practice, thousands and thousands of patients with high blood pressure taking Navitol every day. Pine bark extract. Why? Elevates nitric oxide. Vitamin D elevates nitric oxide. The sun, steak, and steel. Okay, let me get to another one here. If I can get this up. Okay, that was Jackie. Thank you, Jackie. Lisa, we answered your question. Arlene, a friend of mine wants to know if erectile dysfunction, ED, can be reversed in a type 2 diabetic. Well, not easy. Okay? And again, I bring to you, okay? I bring to you another proof. If you don't think sugar is toxic, okay? Because remember, somebody asked the question a couple of weeks ago. Dr. Martin, if sugar was toxic, okay, why did God create it? That's a good question. But we live in a different world, okay? Sugar has been around, but usually in a good form in terms of, right at the plant level of sugar and or honey or maple syrup, right out of nature is different. But still, we live in a different world today where the average person in 10 years is consuming a ton of sugar. Your body was never made for that. And your body cannot allow sugar to stay in the bloodstream. Only a teensy-weensy bit. Your body's dedicated You know, who was asking about pancreatic insufficiency? You know what true pancreatic insufficiency is? Is when people are carboholics and they're sugarholics and their pancreas is overworked. And now they've secreted so much insulin that the cells resist it. Your cells are sick of it. They don't want to see another a little bit of insulin coming around. They get tired of it. They develop insulin resistance. And that's a major, major problem. Okay? Sugar is toxic, and your body knows that. Okay? So, what does sugar do for your kidneys? We talked about it. Destroys it. Because what sugar does, the first thing that sugar does when it's elevated, it destroys blood vessels. Okay? Thus, blood supply, men, okay, to your private parts, men, blood supply. It's all about blood supply. And because sugar is damaging to blood supply, we have ED. Big problem in men today. Okay? Why? Look, I did a podcast on this a long time ago, but I talked about why didn't I invest? If I was a guru, why didn't I invest in the blue pill? You know that little pill? Okay, the blue pill for men. But why? Guys, I've been around long enough. Like, erectile dysfunction is not brand new, but it's an epidemic today. Now, why is that? You don't have to scratch your head and wonder why. It's our diet. It's sugar and crappy carbohydrates. What does it do? Sugar left unattended in the bloodstream will destroy blood vessels, the little weak capillaries, to your private parts. Yeah. Now, not easy to reverse if you're a diabetic. But here's what I would do if I was your friend. Number one, the reset. Because they're a diabetic, because they're a sugar diabetic. They have an allergy to sugar. It's as simple as that, guys. Diabetes is not complicated. It's food. It's not complicated. You have an allergy to food, sugar. Can it be reversed? I've seen it. I would have them on Navitol. Why? Because of, remember, nitric oxide opens up the blood vessels to your organs. Okay? Vitamin D. But the biggest thing is food. You can't out-supplement a diet. You just can't. You can't out-supplement a bad diet. You must start with food. The best thing for your circulation is steak, not sugar. It starts with an S, steak, but not sugar. Sun, steak, and steel. Okay? Thanks for the question. We appreciate it. And that was Arlene asking for a friend. Okay. I I'm sure I've told you this story, but I got to tell it to you again because it was an older couple that came into the office, and this guy had ED, okay? And we talked about it. I said, I can help you with that. And his wife was sitting right beside him, and she said, don't help him. I don't want that anymore. I had to pick myself off the floor because I was laughing so hard, okay? She said, I don't want any help with that. He doesn't want any help with that. Okay. Okay, let me see here. NG is EPA, okay, more readily absorbed for triglycerides than other omegas and indicated with elevated triglyceride. Well, look, Angie, yes and no, okay? Let me tell you. There's a medication out called Vascepa, which is a pharmaceutical grade of strictly EPA. Okay, now remember, let me just unpack this for a second. In animal omega-3, because this is only found in the animal kingdom, you have EPA and you have DHA, okay? And they're both good, okay? Now, you know me, good, better, best. So when you go to a store, go to a health food store, and you want to take omega-3, is that good? Yep, it's good. Omega-3 is good, especially an omega-3 fish oil. Okay? They could take a steak oil, by the way, and make a tremendous omega-3. Anyway, so remember that, okay? We use the illustration of cars. A lot of different cars on the road, isn't there? Okay? And that's what omega-3s, there's a lot of different omega-3s. The best are found in the animal kingdom, and the one is EPA, and the other one is DHA, okay? Now, there is research showing that EPA is very good for lowering triglycerides. And there's a medication that is patented, that's why it's a med, because it's a natural product. It's a pharmaceutical grade of EPA, and it lowers triglycerides, and it's on the market. It's very expensive. It's a prescription you need from your doctor, okay? I like it. I got no problem with it. But here's what I found in my practice, okay? Over the years, okay? So, Angie, here's what I found. When you look at our product, our DHA, okay? It's got EPA in there, by the way. Okay? It's got EPA in there. But there's no product on the market that's got as much DHA as that it's in there. And the reason I love DHA more than EPA, I like EPA. DHA is better, even in my opinion, for triglycerides because it does a few things. One, your brain's made up of it. Two, there's no anti-inflammatory lubrication for your eyes. We'll talk about this in a minute. That's better than DHA. Okay? At the cellular level, DHA is better than EPA. EPA is good. DHA is the best. Okay? Now, triglycerides, I could prove it to patients because we did blood work. I wanted to look at triglycerides. I watched triglycerides. I looked at blood work every day, hundreds of times a week. And I watched when I got people on the reset plus DHA, I watched how their triglycerides went down and their HDL went up. Okay, exactly what should happen. Okay, so yeah, there is research, Angie, on EPA. I like it. I do. Okay, I do. Kathleen, another doctor. Well, there's no other doctor, is there? I'm teasing. Says we need 4,700 milligrams of potassium a day. Yeah. Yeah. That's your needs. You need about 400 to 600 milligrams of magnesium, and you need a lot more potassium than you need of magnesium. You need potassium. But remember, potassium is found just about in everything you eat. Okay? And I'm not big on a potassium supplement per se, because you're limited. Because potassium can have an effect on the heart, Health Canada and the FDA really restrict the amount of potassium that you will find in a supplement, usually to 99 milligrams. Not much. But you get potassium in eggs, meat, and cheese. You get potassium in almost every fruit that you can think of. And don't eat potassium. Don't take bananas for potassium, okay? I'm not saying there's no potassium in them, but bacon's got more potassium than a banana. Eat bacon. You get your potassium. Why do they always go after bacon? Because it's greasy. It's fat. That can't be good for you. Sure, it's good for you. It has oleic acid, the same oil that olive oil has. I like olive oil, by the way. I do. I like bacon better. Bacon's better for you than olive oil. It's got potassium, and lots of it, about 800 milligrams. In a slice of bacon. Well, have several slices. Okay? Don't ditch breakfast. Switch it. You don't have to ditch it. You can switch it. I said that about dairy, didn't I? Don't drink milk, but don't ditch dairy. Dairy, by the way, dairy has a wonderful source of ALA and CLA. Fatty acids. Excellent. CLA. Don't ditch dairy. Switch it. Don't ditch breakfast. Switch it. Okay. Eat bacon. Kathleen. I don't know what that other doctor would say about that, because usually their training is, and I got trained like that too, by the way, bacon. That's going to elevate your cholesterol. Good. That's a good thing. I was talking about bacon and eggs and telling people how crazy they were when they were switching out their breakfast for stupid oatmeal, or switching out their breakfast for cereal, or switching out their, you can have yogurt, a plain Greek. No, but why wouldn't you eat bacon if you like it? Colette, what causes nail fungus and what is the treatment? What causes nail fungus? Moisture. Okay. Now look, always deal with fungus inside out. Because if you got nail fungus, you got it on the inside of your body. Okay? Leaky gut, leaky nails. And when you got toe fungus or nail fungus in your nails, oil of oregano, put it right on and get it. If you got it on your nail, like put a little bit. I like making a little salve. Okay? A little salve. with probiotic. Take a little powder, open up a capsule, and put the probiotic. Put oil of oregano on the Q-tip, okay, with a little salve. You want to use some olive oil? Well, you know what's better for a nail fungus is coconut oil. Use a little coconut oil. And put probiotic on there and put oil of oregano. Oil of oregano is antifungal, antibiotic, antiviral. Unreal how good that stuff is. Okay, thank you for the question. That was Colette. Liz, can oil of oregano, here you go, dear, or tea tree oils applied to bald patches, alopecia areata, help hair grow back? I love oil of oregano. Help hair grow back. Start inside out, especially with alopecia. Okay? It's sort of autoimmune. I showed patients over the years, okay? The best thing you can do for your hair, again, start inside out. Okay? Now, men, see me? You want me to show you a picture of me with lots of hair? Okay? Men, don't worry so much, okay? It's part of our DNA. But ladies, never normal for you to lose hair. If you lose hair, you got trouble. Because a woman's glory is her hair. Okay? You want to see a beautiful head of hair? You should see my wife's. Beautiful. Okay? Not normal for a woman to lose hair. A man, yeah, most men lose hair. It's just the way it is, okay? It's our testosterone. But it's not hormones. Women, hormones. Okay? When you got estrogen dominant, you got to fix that. That's why I like dim it out. Estrogen too much, not enough progesterone, that slows the thyroid to a crawl. So you got to look at that. Look at leaky gut, especially with alopecia. Leaky gut. And when I fix leaky gut, bone broth, probiotics, lay off that sugar, get rid of fungus or yeast. Hair really does well in women when you dim out the estrogen, get that thyroid. That's why I love our thyroid formula. It really, really is a tremendous formula for hair. And so is bone broth. Make your own or we'll help you with that. Okay, Cheryl, what is the difference between wet and dry macular degeneration? Okay, macular degeneration has to do with the retina. Okay? And who is most susceptible to macular degeneration? Diabetics. Why? Blood supply. That's why. Okay? And so on the retina, they get macular degeneration. Wet means there's some leaking of the blood vessels. Dry is you can't see the leaking of the blood vessels, but they've been compromised nonetheless. And the retina gets affected by that. That's what macular degeneration is. That is why I am a big fan of two things that I've shown patients over the years. Well, three things. Food, lay off the sugar. I know, I always sound like a broken record. Lay off the sugar. 1. 2. High DHA, because it lubricates those blood vessels in the back of your eye, plus the lens. It helps to rebuild the lens. It helps to rebuild in there. And then I like the combination of two things, high DHA with Navitol. Why do I love Navitol? Nitric oxide, antioxidant. It rust-proofs your blood vessels. It opens up the blood vessel with nitric oxide. I tell you, you put those two things together and you should read the testimonies of people over the years and what it's done for glaucoma, what it's done for macular degeneration, what it's done for diabetic retinopathy, what it's done for cataracts. Cataracts is sugar. It's glycation of the eyes. Anywho, thanks for the question, Cheryl. Sue, parathyroid. I'm not sure if I'm hyper or hypoparathyroid. Well, don't be confused by that because you can find out by getting a blood test. The parathyroid, okay, what causes problems on the parathyroid? Parathyroids, okay, you got 4 of them. On parathyroid, on the side of your thyroid gland. And what do parathyroids do? They control the calcium levels in your body. Okay? It controls calcium. What causes a problem with the parathyroid? Usually an adenoma, like usually a growth on the parathyroid. Remember, they're the size of a grain of rice. Take out a grain of rice and think of parathyroid. That's how small they are. But if you want to know whether you're hyper or hypo, you got to get your calcium levels tested. Okay, Sue? And usually what I see with parathyroid is hyperparathyroid, usually. Okay? And too much calcium. What do you do with the parathyroid? Vitamin D is very important. Yeah, even to lower your calcium. Because vitamin D sucks up calcium, especially when you take it with vitamin K2. But you need, Sue, I'm confused about a vitamin D as some, okay, you asked the question, thank you. Take it. The best vitamin D, by the way, is the sun. Okay? So if you can get out in the sun, the best. But vitamin D, if you can, Sue, and you can email me at info@Martin Clinic, find out, get your blood work done. Because the only way to know what your parathyroid is doing, whether it's hyper or hypo, then I can guide you a little bit better. Jen, what is vascular disease? What can be done? Well, vascular means blood. Vascular. Your blood vessels. What is vascular disease? Well, usually atherosclerosis is vascular disease. Your blood supply. You got hardening of the arteries. Okay? Now, you could have vasculitis, which is inflammation within your blood vessels, but that's not what you're asking, I don't think, Jen. What can be done for it? Well, all of the above. Diet, start there. I talked about it. Blood supply. What causes hardening of the arteries? Inflammation caused by too much insulin. That's the biggest cause. Okay? And the calcification of your, don't take calcium supplements. Eat your calcium and with vitamin K2. Very, very good for your blood supply, your vascular, okay? If you want to be more specific, Jen, send that to me. Oh, Francis, what causes a parathyroid? Well, I answered that. Usually parathyroids are caused by a tumor, okay? By a growth on the parathyroid gland. And it could be a growth on the thyroid that affects the parathyroid. Okay? Cecilia, my tonsils were taken out when I was a kid. I'm wondering what supplements I should take to counteract. Well, look, the best supplement you could take to help is oil of oregano, Cecilia, vitamin D, because it activates your T cells, your immune system. Vitamin A, eat steak. You don't have your tonsils, well, you don't have the border guards, okay? They're not there. But that's all right. Your body can make up for it. Your body is fearfully and wonderfully made, Cecilia, and you can help yourself by eating properly, lay off the sugar, which destroys your blood vessels, puts your T cells to sleep. You want to activate your T cells, your immune system, wear your invisible mask, vitamin A, okay? It's invisible, but when you eat steak, you get vitamin A. And vitamin A, by the way, is only found in the animal kingdom. Why is that? How could that be bad for you? How? Can't be. There you go. Okay, Kim, and this is a longer question, but Kim is talking about a family member, 50-year-old working female, now with severe chronic pain in her low back and wondering about cortisone shots. Well, look, cortisone, okay, when they discovered cortisone, okay, it and prednisone, okay, these are steroids and drugs, and they're tremendous anti-inflammatory. Okay, they really are. It's amazing how they'll take inflammation out of your body. The problem is there's side effects coming out the wazoo. Okay? Because what it does, it suppresses your adrenals. Because that's where cortisone comes from. And it can drain those adrenals. Plus, cortisone, when you inject it into a joint, can compromise the joint, especially the ligaments in the tendons around the joint. A lot of times it really, really weakens it. So Kim, look, it's a Band-Aid, and it's a good one in a way, okay? Because it can really be anti-inflammatory, and maybe if that pain is so severe, and I don't like them, but you know what? If that's what needed, then, you know, they're limited. You can't constantly be taking those things. So there's pros and cons, Kim, of doing it. Okay, let me just see how many questions I got left here. Yeah, a little bit too many, I think. Okay, we're going to finish up on Monday. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, guys, do we have fun today with question and answer Friday? I love question and answer Friday. I do. Okay, sorry about the notifications. Okay, now that we have a bigger audience today, I realize most people didn't get a notification. If you're not part of our private Facebook group, apparently our staff puts, soon as I start, they flip it to the private Facebook group, but Martin Clinic Facebook group, not the group, Martin Clinic Facebook, right? You can go there and it'll come on. Okay? It'll come on. And usually I tell you if I'm not going to be on, guys, but if you don't hear from me, it's because I'm coming on 5 days a week. Okay, we love you guys dearly, and I mean it dearly and sincerely. We'll talk to you soon.